Welcome to We Rise Together. I'm Amala Grace, and this is a space for returning to yourself. Here we explore the stories we carry, the patterns that shape us, and the quiet ways we begin to rise out of survival and into wholeness. One breath, one shift, one moment at a time. I'm glad you're here. Welcome back to We Rise Together. Last time we talked about how easy it is to slip into survival mode without realizing it's happening. Today, I want to talk about what your system has actually been trying to do for you underneath all those reactions. I'm going to try to avoid medical jargon or anything you need to study for. So let's start with something grounding and orienting. Your nervous system's entire job is to keep you alive. That's it. To keep you alive, not thriving, not self-actualized, not ready to audition for Wicked on Broadway, just alive. It's always scanning, trying to figure out whether you're safe enough to relax or whether it needs to brace for impact. It makes these decisions using whatever information it already has. Your history, your stress load, the things you've been through, the things you pushed through, even the things you ignored because you didn't have time to fall apart. Most of the time, it's trying to help. Sometimes it overdoes it, sometimes spectacularly. Let me give you an example from my own life where my system made a very confident and very incorrect call. Before I joined the ranks of the officially disabled, I auditioned for musicals constantly. It was my life. I had the training, the degrees, the binder full of 16-bar cuts. I even had a resume 2 pages long of prior experiences. On paper, audition should have been fine. But the moment I would step into the audition room, every time, my body acted like I'd walked into the Hunger Games. My hands shook, my breath support disappeared, and the voice I'd spent decades refining suddenly behaved like Bambi trying to stand on a frozen pond. To be clear, nothing dangerous was happening. It was just 3 people behind a folding table with lattes and clipboards. But my system took one look at the situation and decided, nope, absolutely not. We are in mortal peril. I later realized my reactions weren't actually about the moment I was in. They were about everything my system believed it needed to protect me from. Humiliation? Death. Failure? Death. Rejection? Death. And that's the bigger picture I want to explore with you today. Your system has a lot of different ways of trying to protect you, and they don't always look related, but they are. They're all coming from the same place. Your system trying to reduce the chance that you'll get overwhelmed, rejected, hurt, abandoned, embarrassed, exhausted, or anything your body remembers as a threat. For some people, that protection shows up physically. Fatigue, tension, pain, inflammation, brain fog. These aren't betrayals. They're your system trying to slow you down or keep you home. Basically pulling the fire alarm so you don't push past your limit. Then there's the emotional protection. Shutting down, numbing out, feeling detached from yourself, anxiety spikes, irritability, getting lost in overthinking. It's your system dimming the lights to prevent overwhelm, while also making it inconvenient to be an actual human with relationships and responsibilities. And then, of course, we get to the behavioral protections. People-pleasing, perfectionism, avoiding things you actually care about, overcommitting, procrastinating, saying yes while your whole body is screaming no. Every one of these protections has a job. They're not personality flaws. They're strategies your system created to keep you out of danger or, and I can't stress this differentiation enough, what your system interprets as danger, even when nothing threatening is actually happening. And the reason these patterns stick is pretty simple. Survival wiring isn't designed to update quickly. It's firmware, if you will, not software. Long-term stress teaches our system that danger is constant. Old experiences leave an imprint. Burnout, illness, inflammation, all of it keeps the alarms sensitive. And modern life doesn't tend to hand out clear, all safe signals. So most of us are walking around with a nervous system that's still running old instructions. Not because we're dramatic, not because we're broken, but because our systems would rather overreact than risk missing something important. And please hear me. Those patterns you might judge yourself for, the ones you think make you weak or flawed or somehow behind everyone else, they were created to protect you. They formed in the moments where you didn't have the capacity or support to do it any other way. They helped you survive things you probably didn't even realize were difficult or challenging at the time. They just never got the memo that you're not in those moments anymore. Once you truly internalize that, the tone you use with yourself changes. You can start to let go of self-blame. You can stop wrestling your own reactions. You can start noticing the truth underneath. Your system isn't the enemy. It's the overprotective bodyguard who didn't get the updated itinerary. And once you understand its intentions, you can start working with it instead of fighting it. Here's something simple to try this week. Anytime you notice yourself shutting down, avoiding something, getting tense, or freezing in place, pause for just a moment and ask, what might my system think it's protecting me from right now? You don't need an answer. You don't need a breakthrough. Just asking the question shifts the relationship. It turns the moment from, what's wrong with me, into, oh, this is protection. And that shift creates a little space. And space is where change begins. Next time, we're going to talk about something almost everyone struggles with once these patterns have been running for a while. That unsettling feeling of losing connection with yourself. Why it happens, how it shapes your decisions, and how to begin finding your way back. Thank you for being here with me today. Be good to the person you're becoming. Infinite love and gratitude.